At the dawning of the 21st century, more than 70 million people, or nearly 1.25% of the entire human population, converged upon the sacred city of Allahabad in northern India. They came to celebrate the oldest spiritual festival known to man, the Maha Kumbh Mela. For over 4,000 years, Hindus have been guided in the rich tradition of the Kumbh Mela by their revered spiritual leaders. Today, the festival has transcended its Hindu roots, creating a global celebration of spiritual and cultural diversity, unified by faith. The Guinness Book of World Records describes it as the largest number of human beings ever assembled with a common purpose in the entire history of mankind. And though it remains a Hindu festival, the 2001 Maha Kumbh Mela attracted pilgrims from every corner of the globe. At the confluence of the three sacred rivers, the Yamuna, the Ganges, and the mythical Saraswati, taking the holy dip is a ritual of profound significance. In a gesture of faith and gratitude, pilgrims offered their prayers to the divine to purify their soul and grant blessings in this life and the next. Ritual bathing, like baptism, is symbolic of purification of the soul, and the Vedas teach the merit of bathing in the Ganges, as the Bible prescribes the Christian rite of baptism. For some, it marked the culmination of a life's spiritual journey. For others, a way to elevate themselves from their mundane day-to-day existence. And for all, it was an act of great merit, spiritual renewal, and an expression of love, devotion, joy, and unity. Among the procession of dignitaries representing many of the world's religions, His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, came to offer his blessings. Accompanied by 80 Tibetan monks, he took part in ancient ceremonial rituals, and as the spiritual and temporal leader of Tibet and one of the most widely acclaimed spiritual icons of the 21st century, he bestowed his message of spiritual reconciliation and world peace.
So, spiritual brothers, sisters, we have been gathered here for what? That's a big question. I think people, millions of people come here to seek some, I think, deeper meaning of their life. So, more than 6 billion of human beings, I think they very really big number, but I think 100% exact same face. Of course, each individual have different mental disposition, different views, different experiences. I think limitless. So under that circumstances, I always believe we need variety of religion. But at the same time, that also sometimes causing trouble. Different religion, different belief divides people. Not only nation, But simply, even within family, sometimes it may create some problems. So, I believe, while we respect and try to keep all major traditions, we have to look seriously how to overcome conflict or divisions in the name of different traditions. Each individual is a part of the human society. Each individual is sharing the same world, same planet.
The influence of feminine energy has always been revered in India, and similar to their male counterparts, these women have renounced their personal attachments to become initiated into an order of female monks in service to God and humanity. At the Maha Kumbh Mela, they assembled to energize their union, reaffirm their commitment, and receive spiritual rejuvenation. As the leader of the women's wing of the Juna sect, the largest of the 13 Hindu sects, Sri Mahant Meerapuri gave a rousing speech acknowledging the role of women as guardians of sacred knowledge and wisdom.
है प्रेम जगत में सार, सबसे पहले प्रेम की शिक्षा हमें पढ़नी है, हमने दिया है, हमने जगत को उत्पन्न किया है मातृशक्ति ने, परंतु अपनी शक्ति का हमें अभी बोध नहीं हो रहा है। जैसे है प्रेम जगत में सार और कोई सार नहीं, है प्रेम नाम आधार और आधार नहीं। आज जो हम पुरस्कार देख रहे हैं तो ये प्रेम का ही पुरस्कार देख रहे हैं।
In a tradition rich with ceremony, the modern-day poet saint, Sri Ramesh Bhai Oza, was honored by his spiritual brother, Swami Chidanand Saraswati, endearingly known as Muniji, who is a revered saint from the Himalayas. Muniji's ashram, Parmat Niketan, is one of the largest and most famous in India, where he is the spiritual father to over 100 orphan boys, known as Rishi Kumars. Under Muniji's loving guidance, they are adopted and schooled to become priests. Their sweet young voices chant in unison as Muniji offers a special prayer on behalf of the departed souls who perished in the Gujarat earthquake just days before. A massive 3-acre Ishkan village was home to over 1,000 pilgrims from all parts of the world. Ishkan, also known as the Hare Krishna movement, is relatively new in the West, but its roots date back to ancient India. Swami Prabhupada, Ishkan's founder, inaugurated the worldwide Hare Krishna movement under a tree in New York City's Tompkins Square Park in 1966. During the Mela, hundreds of pilgrims joined ecstatic chanting parties that twice a day paraded a life-size statue of Prabhupada through the festival grounds. Each evening, female monks gathered at Sri Mahant Meerapuri's tent to perform the evening Arati. Arati is a sacred act of worship that evokes a communion between the devotee and the divine. In preparation for the Arati, Mataji, as she is endearingly called, adorns her forehead with markings of symbolic significance. 3 lines are drawn above the eyebrows with sacred ash, representing 3 aspects of the divine. The red dot, which is called a bindi, is placed between the eyebrows, representing the 3rd eye, on which yogis meditate to become one with God. At the altar, the 4 elements are present: earth, represented by flowers; air, by incense; fire, by ghee lamps; and water. Incense is said to carry the essence of prayers to upper regions of consciousness. Lights and camphor are waved to the accompaniment of bells, drums, and conch shells, followed by a traditional chant. Fire plays a central role, symbolically removing the darkness of ignorance existing between God and the self. From the sacred Hindu text, the Rig Vedas. Whatever blessings, O Agni, thou giveth to the worshipper. That, refulgent one, is thy truth. To thee, Agni, dispeller of night, we come with prayer day by day, offering thee our obeisance. Fire rituals are common among most of the world's religions, and it is an essential element in most Hindu ritual. Fire is itself a Hindu deity named Agni, who is one of the most important of the Vedic gods. Much of his importance comes from the role of fire in rituals. As the fire that consumes the offerings to the gods, he is the mediator between heaven and earth. This fire ritual is being offered by a young initiate who enters into a trance-like state as he pays homage to the sacred river Ganges. His Holiness Jagadguru Ramanandacharya from the Chaitanya Mission in Indore is the youngest Jagadguru to be bestowed that title in over 1200 years. In this exalted position, he carries out his global mission of spreading peace, love, and compassion for all of humanity. Almost all Hindu rituals of worship include the ceremonial placing of each devotee's hands in the fire, symbolizing the cleansing of the soul and the lifting of the spirit.